Okay, this is the watch list for Friday, December 18th. Real quick, whoops. This is what I said in chat today. This was yesterday's what the SPY looked like on the daily chart after the FOMC interest rate announcement. First time in 9 years or something like that. You had a really nice move higher in the SPY. I said that was the market was acting like a girlfriend that took a breakup really well, right? You broke up with her and she was like really cool with it, okay? And then today, you saw her in your driveway etching her initials on the hood of your car. That's what the market was today. So it was kind of like there was a sink-in period, and then the market readjusted. Anyway, anyone with a ex-psycho girlfriend will appreciate that comment. All right, so who knows what to expect, right? You had a big up day and a big down day, and they basically had the exact same range. Who knows what to expect tomorrow? It certainly, if you go to 5-minute candles, got ugly at the close for whatever that's worth. Okay, so anyway, here's my watch list. It's not very long. It's a low price stock that actually kind of like it. Actually had news today. Somebody took a stake, or some fund took a stake in it or something. But I mean, after this spike, a little over a week ago, went all the way to 540, and then it just chopped around. Then today it actually had news and held up well. So I want to watch that one for maybe a red to green, something like that tomorrow. That's FSNN. Another former high flyer that had nice strength today, relative strength today, was VLTC. Want to watch that for maybe a red to green tomorrow, something like that. HAIN, a nice pop. This line here is an old line. I put it at long time support. You can see how many times it bounced off this the 40 level, or it was about about 40. Anyway, the line's not exactly drawn perfectly, but you can see it. It had nice bounces here, and then it came down, a nice bounce here, and then when it flushed below it, your inclination is to think, okay, it's finally lost 40 support. Take these last 2 days out of it, right? It's finally lost 40 support, and it's going to go much lower. And then lo and behold, even on a weekday like today, it is right back up through that 40 support and holding nicely. So I want to watch for some follow through to the upside in HAIN. RWLK, really, really strong today. Gave back some of its gains in the afternoon, but the market was weak, so maybe a red to green there tomorrow. KTOV. After the gap up, you've got 3 days lower now. It did touch the 8-day today. Not a lot of chart history to go on because it's a relatively new issue. I'm going to put that one on bounce watch. Lumber liquidators, after the gap up, and then a nice day, and then today it kind of tanked, but I don't know. I like this move. There's a lot of shorts in it. Shorts may have regained confidence, so I try to kind of be a contrarian a little bit, and so this looks like, okay, it's going to come back down and fill the gap. But I want to watch it for a potential bounce play. That today's sell-off might find buyers tomorrow. Who knows? I don't love that, and really I don't love too many of these. I like the first couple I showed you. I like the HAIN too, now that I think about it. I like to have at least one chart that's really, really beaten up and maybe close to capitulating, and so DVN is what I've settled on. This is straight down from, I don't know what that was, maybe 10 sessions ago, $46. Actually today it hit 28, and massive, biggest volume yet, and just straight down. I mean, it only broke a previous day's high right here, a little bit here, and then straight back down again. That's a good candidate for a bounce play, and I use that that same methodology on an intraday, that same mindset to play intraday bounces. And I just have the reason I want to show you GLNG from today is really, to be honest with you, just because of an email I got, and this happens, I don't know, once every couple months I get an email from someone that is just a head scratcher. And the email, I could read it verbatim, but I'm just going to paraphrase because I don't have it in front of me. It said, why in the heck, I guess they looked at the results page and said, why in the heck did you call GLNG long? You were going against the trend. That it was foolish. Why would you ever go against the trend? Blah, blah, blah. And I called it long as it was coming back up here at 1411. So right about here. Right about where my arrow is. And from 1411 over the next 20 minutes it went to 1486. Okay, so what is that, a 75-cent move? And the stop was 20 cents below. So risk reward. Oh, and by the way, it never did come back down and hit the stop. It still didn't hit the stop after a really weak close in the market. So I'm always amused by people that say you never fight the trend. There's also, you know what, if I polled 100 consistently profitable traders. Okay? And I said if this was all the information you had to go on, was just this chart right here, you don't get to see the longer term chart, you don't get to see where support is on the daily, and someone had a gun to your head and you had to either go long 1,000 shares here or short 1,000 shares here. Well, I don't know what the ratio would be. I would suspect most consistently profitable traders, really, that's okay. To be fair, that's not really enough information because this could have had, could have had bankruptcy news and could have been just getting started. But with that option aside, I think most traders would say your better bet here when you've got down, grinding lower again, big down, another little maybe bear flag, and then a big push, almost the biggest volume of the morning right here, and flushing below a whole number, and it's already down from 1640 to below 14. Most intelligent traders would say that if you had to go one or the other, and you don't get any other information, you'd probably go long looking for a reversal. But again, that's not really fair to say without all the information. But there's such a thing as going with the trend, okay? And there's such a thing as looking for an actual reversal play because of capitulation. I did get an email from a member today that said, hey, can you explain it? They said it was a great call, but why, when you didn't have daily support, would you call that long? Now, that's a much better question. And so I jumped on the mic and showed, yeah, there is no daily support. You can go back really far and just can't find anything. So why did I look for a reversal play? Because generally, and see my members know this, generally I look for intraday shape change, right, on a 5-minute candle basis, something like that, into support on the daily. Those are my favorite plays, but this one was missing the support on the daily. So my reasoning is, well, it was $28 and sold off all the way down to below 18. As a matter of fact, I think this day I had it on long watch, and look what it did. You had a nice little bounce to 20. And so you've got a really, really beaten up stock, and then today was getting fast to the downside. So absent of any daily support, this was still way, way oversold, and then on an intraday basis, getting that shape change to the downside too. And I love the flush below a whole number, okay? That made me like it even more, because once you take out the stops below the next whole number and you've already extended to the downside, good chance you're going to get a nice bounce. And like I said, we did on 20 cents risk, 75-cent move. So, but there's an example of why I would have something like a DVN on bounce watch, even though it's really, really beaten up. Okay, I like the volume. I hadn't even really looked to see if there's. I mean, this is a weekly chart, and you got to go way, way out there. When you have to go back this far, when you have to go back to 2004, you can just forget support on the chart. Okay, that means nothing. But back to the daily, this is really extended, and the volume is increasing. Biggest volume I see, right? Going way back. That's the biggest volume candle I see for probably a couple years. So that's a good example of a potential bounce play too. I've babbled long enough. Hopefully we'll find some gappers in the morning as well. Be careful. It's Friday. You never want to go into Kunal, I think his name is, who runs Bulls on Wall Street. I saw a video of his in the recent past where he said his rule on Friday is, and I won't use the cuss word, I'll just use an abbreviated term, but he said on Fridays his rule is don't F up. And I love that. So I thought that was great. I'll pass that along. I passed that along to the chat room already. You don't want to ruin your weekend by doing something really stupid on a Friday. So, maybe cut your position size down. Again, be aware that the market, had a nasty day and a nasty finish today. And keep all that in mind. Maybe trade a little smaller. Enter the day with, I don't even have to trade today, right? But if I find an opportunity I love, I will. So just remember that. Kunal's right. Don't screw up on a Friday and ruin your weekend. There's always going to be trades next week and so on. But anyway, I'm confident. Hopefully, we'll find a gapper or two, or maybe one of these stocks will give us a nice trade tomorrow as well. As I've said ad nauseum, I try to focus on the morning, and more often than not, I can get my daily goal in that first hour. And you know what? A 1 to 2 hour workday. How many people don't dream of that? So remember that. If you get your daily goal in that first hour or so, have a nice long weekend. Enjoy it. Don't waste the rest of the afternoon risking giving that money back. All right, guys. Have a good night.